Weapon crafting is one of the major new additions to Destiny 2 in the Witch Queen expansion, and that allows us to use the Relic to help us craft and customize our weapons. This is a huge new feature and it's got a few complex parts, so today I'm going to run through the crafting in detail, including how to get started, what weapon patterns are, how to shape and reshape weapons, and also explain what materials you need and why. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, let's dive right into the details. So first of all, how to get started with weapon crafting. So during the campaign in Destiny 2 Witch Queen, you get an introduction to weapon crafting in the first few missions. I do believe this is free for all players. So you're going to have a chat with Ikora Ray and she'll give you a quest called the Relic, and this walks you through the basics of weapon crafting in the Enclave on Mars. Now, at the end of a short tutorial, you're going to have your first crafted weapon, the new glaive. Well, in the first few missions of the Witch Queen campaign, you're also going to be able to pick up a new ability called Deep Sight, and one of the benefits of Deep Sight is the ability to craft weapons. You can also unlock memories from the past and find hidden loot chests too, but once you've got Deep Sight, you're going to be able to receive weapons with red borders on them, and this means they have something called Deep Sight Resonance. So by using the weapons with Deep Sight Resonance, you're going to be able to extract the materials needed for weapon crafting. Well, next up, let's have a look at patterns. So to start crafting a weapon, you are going to need its pattern. Basically, this is a fancy name for a weapon blueprint or something similar to that. So it's essentially the starting guidelines for creating a weapon. And you can unlock patterns by completing the objectives on the Deep Sight Resonance weapons, and also some quests will give you patterns as rewards. To see your current patterns, you can navigate to the Triumphs page in your character menu and check out the Patterns tab on the right hand side. So not all weapons in Destiny 2 have patterns at the moment, only 23 to start with. And that includes the new Throne World weapons and the Season of the Risen weapons, as well as a few exotics like the Osteostriga and the new exotic glaives. So during the campaign in the Witch Queen, you'll get given a pattern for the Enigma, and that one is your legendary glaive. And you're going to be walked through interacting with the Relic and selecting the perks and the traits. And once you put the weapon together, you can level up that weapon. The more you use the weapon, the higher level it will go, and you're going to be able to unlock more features on the weapon. Well, next up, let's have a look at how to shape and reshape weapons. So to start crafting a weapon, head to the Relic at the Enclave and interact with the prompt, and you can find that on the Throne World. You're going to be presented with two options here, so shape or reshape. So shaping and reshaping is the term used by the Relic for crafting. So if you're starting from scratch, you want to shape a weapon from its pattern, and if you want to modify an existing weapon, then you have to reshape it. Well, to shape a weapon, select it from your available patterns, and then you can add an intrinsic, 2 minor perks, 2 traits, and then you want to finalize the shape. So when you first start out, shaping options are going to be minimal, but they will progressively get deeper and more complex over the course of Destiny 2 Witch Queen as you shape more weapons and unlock new features. Well, you're going to need some materials for shaping and reshaping weapons, and they include neutral elements, resonant alloy, and also glimmer, but more on that in a minute. Reshaping means modifying the existing weapon, and you can edit the perks on the gun to better suit your playstyle. So you can choose from the available perks on the weapon, and if you've leveled up the weapon enough, then you have more flexibility on what perks to add to the weapon. Now, if you find your options limited, then get out there in the world and level out that weapon a little more, and that's going to open up the flexibility of the perks available to you. Well, there's also enhanced traits, and they are better versions of current traits that we know and love. So given enhanced traits are better, then there's a higher cost associated with these, meaning more materials and something called Ascendant Alloy. This is a new rare material that can only be acquired in a few locations in the game, including the weekly campaign mission, which is unlocked at Finch at rank 13 on the Throne World, and also the master mode for the new Wellspring activity, that's unlocked at Finch at rank 18. So before you shape or reshape the weapon, you're going to be able to see how much it's going to cost, so it gives you all the info that you need to make that decision. And you can effectively reshape as many times as you want, as long as you've got the materials. Well, next up, let's have a look at those materials, starting with the Resonant Materials. So to be able to shape and reshape, you're going to need a number of Resonant Materials. Well, these can be acquired through playing activities in Destiny 2. First up, we've got Resonant Alloys. So Resonant Alloy is the most basic material for weapon crafting, and this is needed for the intrinsic. For example, whether a weapon is adaptive, precision, or aggressive, something like that. So if you level up your weapon, then you can have a stat bonus here, and there's also different resonant alloys to collect. Some are specific to certain activities like raids, and some can be acquired through dismantling weapons or completing activities. Well, next up we got Ascendant Alloys and Resonant Elements. So Ascendant Alloys and Resonant Elements are used for enhanced traits. You can get these from the weekly campaign mission and the master mode of Wellspring, and you can also buy them from Banshee 44 and also the Cryptarch. You can find those vendors in the tower. Well, next up we got Mementos. So Mementos, they are a cosmetic option rather than something that's going to benefit the stats for the weapon. For example, shaders or trackers and things like that. So these can be unlocked by completing various activities in the game, but do remember, Mementos are purely for cosmetic value at this moment in time. Well, next up we got Resonant Elements. So there are various Resonant Elements for different perk combinations. So everything is going to require neutral element, while some perks require specific ingredients of Resonant Elements. So first of all, we've got Ruinous Element. So these are related to damage or projectile modification related trait perks. We've got a Drop Element, so weapon performance related trait perks such as handling and stability. You've got Mutable Elements, so that's related to abilities like grenades or class ability. You've got Energetic Elements, so used for ammo or reload related trait perks. And finally, you've got Drowned Elements. These are related to raid exclusive trait perks. Well, next up we got Leveling Up Weapons. So the benefit of leveling up a weapon is you'll get to unlock advanced features for the weapon in the shaping and the reshaping process. So to level up a weapon, it's really simple. Just use the weapon and get kills, and you'll level it up over time. Think of it as a specific weapon bounty or objective, and the more that you invest in a particular weapon, the more personal it can become to you. Well, finally then, we've got Attuning Weapons. So resonant weapons have to be attuned with deep sight resonance, which then extracts the resonant materials from that weapon. The extracted materials are then used to shape or reshape weapons. So you can choose the materials to extract from a weapon when you attune it, and this can only be done once. So after this process, the gun is going to lose its unique aspect, and it's going to operate as the normal weapon. Also, the weapon needs 100% resonance rating before deep sight resonance can be extracted. So making progress with deep sight resonance is very simple. Just use the weapon or have it equipped. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of weapon crafting in Destiny 2. It is a lot of information to take in at the moment. It's a big change for Destiny 2, but we're all going to get used to it very quickly. And if you've got any questions, throw them down there in the comments. Well, that is it for this weapon crafting guide in Destiny 2 Witch Queen. And as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you could check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.